The Old Testament is full of references to the orphan, you know, those children that haven't got a mum and dad. And the society in that time was encouraged by the scriptures to care for those children because they had no one to advocate for them, no one to look after them. If you go to the New Testament, there's similar exhortations saying, look after the orphan. And I think there's a verse in the book of James, I'm going to get it a bit wrong, but bear with me, that says, looking after the orphan is pleasing to God. He respects those that do that. It's good religion. In Islam, I think in the Quran, it says that if you care for the orphan, you're as close as can be to the Prophet. Now, you might be a Muslim, you might be a Christian, you might have no religion at all, no faith at all. But probably inside most of our hearts, there's this desire to help those that are helpless. And 10 years ago, my family, my wife, me, and our birth kids, we just called them the kids, we decided to become foster carers for Liverpool City Council. And one of the first kids we ever fostered, I call him Kay. He arrived and next day, he slept the night. Next day I said, right, we're going to the park. And I walked down the road, he came into this beautiful park here. And we walked into the park, he was happy to hold my hand, and he called me Bill. My name is Phil, he couldn't say that. And he went, Bill, what that? What that, Bill? And he had very, very limited language. And I went, what is he looking at that's interesting? What could it be? And I realised that he was pointing at a tree. And it was this tree stump here. And I went, that's a tree stump. And he went, what that tree? What that tree? And it was this one here. Other trees are available. And I held out his hand and we touched the tree and we touched the bark and he felt the sensation. And he went, tree, tree, tree. And took him 20 minutes of tapping a tree. And we walked on, went, oh, tree. And he went, tree. And we walked on. Guess what? A few meters later, there was another tree. So we spent another 5 minutes tapping that one. Now, it's a beautiful day. I am allowed out because it's my allotted leisure time. With that little kid, it was obvious to us that he'd never experienced nature. He'd never been in a park before. He'd never fed the ducks. He'd never thrown stones in a river. All the stuff that probably you've done. And I don't know how lockdown's been to you. I don't know whether it's driven you mad not to be able to get out and about to experience nature. But I think with that little boy, he had never experienced that for the first 3.5 years of his life. And even though you might be finding this time very difficult, I expect you're looking forward to getting out, to going to the park more. Maybe you're looking forward to a holiday. Maybe it'll be this summer. Who knows? Hope and pray this ends soon. But for some kids, they're stuck inside. They're stuck in a situation that can be violent. There can be domestic abuse. There can be drugs. There can be alcohol. There can be mental health issues. All sorts of reasons why kids are stuck with family that are struggling to look after them, and that's why they come into care. I think there's 1,450 kids in Liverpool who can't live with their mum and dad, and I think that this period of lockdown will have only made those situations worse. And it's hard to know what to do, isn't it? And if you're the praying type, well, pray for those kids. If you're a praying and action type, could you think about fostering? Could you think about looking after one? I can absolutely guarantee it'll be difficult. I can absolutely guarantee there'll be loads of challenges. I can absolutely guarantee that you'll make a difference to a child. And I can certainly guarantee that you'll never be bored. My name's Phil Watson. I work for the council and I work in fostering, and it's a lot of fun. And if God exists, he's really pleased that I do it. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.